Hello, everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is a show where we take comics from the past week, recap them, review them, let you know what we thought about them, and then give you recommendations of books that come out this week we think you should pick up. Welcome to the show. Today, this episode is sponsored by viewers like you. If you are watching the show live, guess what? You're a unwilling sponsor. You didn't really know it yet, but all you got to do participate is use Super Chats, make a question or comment, and then we'll weave it in organically into the program, and the money goes into the infrastructure that is ComicPop. And it is well appreciated. We do really, really appreciate it. And hey, if you want to contribute even further to ComicPop, go to patreon.com/ComicPop, where you can get early access to videos, weekly updates, and that's kind of it. But hey, listen, that's not bad. I mean, it's a YouTube channel. What do you want from me? I'm making everything by myself. So if you want to help us out, you can join us over there. Hey, by the way, there's 2 videos available right now that you can watch before anybody else.
Cool.
There's a GBU, our 50th episode. If you're not familiar with that, that's the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where it's basically Best of the Worst over at Red Letter Media, but over here at ComicPop.
I forgot we did that episode.
Yeah, it's a really fun episode. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It'll come out later in the week, probably Thursday, Friday, that kind of thing. And also an early access Elseworlds Exchange, which I recorded with Newsarama editor Chris Arendt. We talked about comic book journalism and future ideas. Actually, if you follow him on Twitter, you might have seen he actually took a bunch of those ideas and then tossed them out onto Twitter. So, that's where it came from.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Here's an example, by the way, of how people are using their Super Chats. It went away, but I have seen it, so I'll pull that up in a minute. So let's just move on.
You want to just go in? How did you read this week? You read a lot.
I read 3. These are all recommendations.
Oh, okay. I read 4 plus Batman.
Well, let's get into some indie books because
we'll just jump right into it. I have it right here.
Because you have it right there.
We're not going to talk. Some of these indie books, like Something is Killing the Children. Something is Killing the Children.
Oh.
Number 8. I'm gonna kind of not tell you what goes on them anymore because this book is predicated on this super cool mystery that's going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you though, this book is consistent AF. It is consistently great. The art is consistently on point and matches perfectly with the with the story and the tone and just all of that.
Sure.
And even as we're going down the rabbit hole, we're going down in such a way where you don't feel like it's do you ever have a book where they're just throwing crap at you and it's cool, but sometimes it's just overwhelming?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is paced so well that it's I'm at the end of this, I was and I'm ready for the next one.
Right.
And not
That's nice.
I didn't get enough. There wasn't enough in here. It's just I would really like to have more.
Yeah. It just it worked.
Yes, this was the appropriate length of a floppy, but I'm damn, if I didn't have number 9, I would like to have it. Just give me it. It's just, I love this book so much. It's a treat to read. I love pretty much just everything about it. It's just so good. And it's amazing because they're dealing, of course, with this fantastical element and these almost cryptid kind of. It depends on where. Some people are aliens, it's monsters, it's this, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there's this fantastic element, right? But it also deals a lot with human emotions because it's if you were reading the first volume or the first series or part of it, a whole bunch of kids died in a small town, basically, and now they're dealing with that.
Right. Oh, wow, they don't just leave them there.
No, the cops have to deal with this, and the mess, and the, not only emotional and mental mess, but the actual physical mess of them being consumed.
Yeah, someone's cleaning the children.
But, also trying to match them up, and, how they're gonna handle this. And it's really great, because it's, it helps to anchor the story in the real world without making it too overwhelming or ham-fisted. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's very much, it's just well balanced. So
that's great.
High recommend. Still love this book. Something is Killing the Children, number 8. It's out now.
Yeah, Boom Studios.
Boom Studios.
They're
coming out of nowhere with for me, nowhere. I know a lot of people liked some of their other properties. I think they do Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And a couple of other books and but for me that was just not something I was super interested in. And then this and Once and Future came out from them, and I'm just I always have an eye on some of what they're coming out. They actually
do they have some?
They
some
teased a book called Alienated, which probably has something to do with an alien, coming out in February. By Simon Spurrier, so I'm gonna have to check that out too.
He wrote the Sandman Universe stuff
and Hellblazer, which is I just loving.
Growing on You, yes.
Yeah, not growing. Hellblazer, I love.
Well, yeah,
I'm in.
Well, there's 2 series.
The first not even 3 series. It's just there was one intro issue that.
That's it.
was like, what the hell's happening? And then there was another number 1.
Yes.
Because they have slightly different titles. Anyway.
They killed Vertigo between those.
They did. R.I.P. Vertigo.
In our super chats, Brian Rowlands said, "Off the Rack and comics are back. Keep up all the great work." Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, comics are back. You were mentioning how there was like some staggering.
Yeah, Marvel originally, as part of their plan, was like doing a staggering where it was like 1 week you'd get new floppies, essentially new single issues, and the next week it would be just all trades.
Yes.
And now I think we're like into
pretty much
July.
back.
Well, in July their plan was to just be back to like every week we're gonna have floppies. But,
Yes.
I'm sure things are ever changing for them. But, like, right now it seems like, hey, all like, full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Comics.
Dan V900 says, "I know it was last week, but I would strongly recommend Hawkeye Freefall. Matthew Rosenberg has a great handle on Clint with great Otto Schmidt art. Otto Schmidt's a great artist.
Yes.
I am hit or miss with Matt Kint. Oh, no, it's Matthew Rosenberg. I'm sorry. That's great. Yeah, no, Rosenberg's better.
Yeah.
And I heard good things about Freefall, so take that as you will. I haven't read it yet, though.
There you go.
So yeah, there's a lot going on at Marvel. It's all Empire related. It's all connected to this massive event that...
That's what you think, because every Marvel book I read this week, which
Yeah.
it's pretty much just all Marvel for me this week, had nothing to do with Empire. Acted
No.
like it's not even happening.
Yes. Yeah, same deal. If you're reading Iron Man, you might be like, what the hell? What about Arno? No one cares. Nobody. Except for Slott.
Okay.
That said... this is the big summer blockbuster that'll end in November or whatever.
Okay.
It's Empire, Kree-Skrull War has ended. They're unified. We reviewed Avengers Empire #0 last week, or the week before. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. This past week...
I should have read this then.
Well, it's just... If you recall, at the end of the last issue,
Yeah.
The Avengers have chosen the Tree People side, and
And we see the Fantastic Four are there, and it's like, how could you possibly side with them? Does this give you the how could you possibly side with them?
it shows you, it catches you up to speed. What are the Fantastic Four doing? What was the whole deal?
Right, where's Franklin?
You're right, he's with the Fantastic Four.
Right.
Franklin has an annoying subplot in which, like, yes, he's a nigh-omnipotent being, yes, he can do anything, but... as a result of his experience in like Hickman, now his power is waning. That every time he hits like friggin' Bastion in Neverending Story 2, where he uses a little bit of his power and he loses a little bit of his power. Every time I use it, I lose it. Make a wish, I lose a memory, that kind of thing. It's bullshit. But I'm sure they'll fix it or something. There's a Fantastic Four X-Men event which capitalizes on that in a big bad way. That's by Zdarsky.
Right.
I haven't seen a new issue of that in a long time.
Right, but like... when are these things? Never mind.
When is this happening?
I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask when it's happening because nobody cares.
No, certainly not Marvel. They were talking about how they dared to say the Marvel Universe will never be the same after this event. F you. Just don't say that anymore.
F you.
F you.
Because of the FF.
Yeah. But just don't do that. Also, there's a big Null event coming in.
Well, it's like, wait, guys, come on, like. I know, like, the real world doesn't really affect what's going on in your comics constantly, even though you're supposed to be the world outside your window. But, like, people are literally coming off of we're still in the midst of a big event in our own lives. And it's like, hey, Marvel just kind of got settled, and they got Krakoa, and, like, Krakoa's kind of like the new norm. But, hey, let's completely upset the apple cart.
Yeah, but it's in space, mostly. So let's worry about that. Like, so we can have Krakoa happen here. But space, though.
But maybe you don't care about X-Men.
You probably don't. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are like, I don't care, I'm done, I'm out.
No, I get
Call me when the big event happens. Then I'll pretend like I read it the whole time. Fantastic Four Empire #0 is by Dan Slott with art by R.B. Silva and Sean Isaacs. And it's really cool. It's just a fun little Fantastic Four story.
Right.
I'm not even gonna mince words.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's R.B. Silva, and
yeah, it just looks cool.
But it's great. Dan Slott invents a new character named the Profiteer. It's an elder of the universe related to the Grandmaster, Herpaderp. There's a super awesome, amazing, huge casino in space run by the Profiteer, used to be owned by the Grandmaster, in which she has these two, like a Kree child and a Skrull child, and like she makes, and they're like, it's like they were grown. We're gonna get more information about them later, but like basically they're imbued with the memories and experiences of like everything the Kree and the Skrull have ever been through, so they can reenact the Kree-Skrull War, every single battle in the Kree-Skrull War, which has raged on for millennia. So like, hey, pick a day, pick a time. This is the battle that took place during that Kree-Skrull War, and it's going to be fought by these two avatars of each other's respective races.
Place your bets?
Yes. And of course, that's, it's
But like, if you know history, you can't bet to that.
Well, yeah, but like, we give you the circumstances of the battle, but it could change.
I'm gonna say this is like when you did go to the movies. She's not making the money off of the event. It's the concessions.
Right.
That's where she's profiteering.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the only... That's where the profits really come from. But yeah, no, so we see these kids fight, and you feel a little bad because,
right.
And then, of course, and they get the shit kicked out of them. They almost die. She puts them in pods, makes them, like, get regrown, and then puts them right back into the shit of it. So you feel really bad for these kids.
Right.
Meanwhile, the Fantastic Four have run out of gas. They need a tow. They, the intergalactic economic system has collapsed. Unbeknownst to them because of the Kree-Skrull War falling apart. So it's now on a barter system, so they basically promise, like, whatever, who cares? The point is they end up at the casino.
Right, but
and,
they get there via Cthulhu.
Yeah,
Cthulhu's, like, uncle.
It's more like Davy Jones from
Kind of does look like Davy
Pirates
Jones.
2. But yeah, they are pirates, so it makes sense.
Yo-ho.
So they go to this casino, and, like, Franklin and Valeria are there, and, Sue and Reed are like, stay here, and then... They go and they're like, they trade their busted ship that they need fuel for, and that's why they're here, for chips. So because Valeria's like, I'm the smartest person in the universe, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure out how to, like... And they're
gonna Rain Man this?
Yes. They even made a joke about how they are, God, I don't remember what the race was they made up. I don't even think it's made up. I think it's like... Yeah, the Valerians. They say that they're Valerian, and so they're not underage, and they can go in because they're actually really old. Just like, I can't believe that worked. So, they lose money. The whole thing is just a cute Fantastic Four story. What's going on? Reed is like, what is this? And what's the deal with the children? This is horseshit. Johnny and Ben, like, the idea was that, like, Ben will fight in the arena, and he'll win, and they'll get money from it. And Johnny's like, I'll be his manager. Any port in a storm. We make lemonade out of life. So Johnny and Ben, they go into the arena and they find out about the kids. They feel really bad. Reed meets the profiteer. He doesn't like what she's selling. He challenges her. Meanwhile, Sue is like, what the hell's going on with the kids? Because she sees on the monitors that the kids are like screwed and out of money. The kids are like trying to gamble and they fail. So Sue meets up with the kids, invisible, and then rigs the games so that they will win. Not in a like, I'm going to help my kids cheat and teach them that that's the value. More like, we need to get out of here.
Right.
So I'm going to punish the shit out of you when we get home. But right now, you've created the situation that I need to help you in. And so what they wind up doing is like, Reed deals with the profiteer. Ben and Johnny like fight the kids. They try to save them. And then of course, Johnny and Ben and the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans were involved in the Kree-Skrull War as well. So like they basically pick a battle in which there are no losers. Like so there can be a draw.
Right. And
so when there is a draw, it causes like disruption, and then it gives them an opportunity to like catch their breath. Meanwhile, the profiteer and Reed fight, and essentially they basically say that Valeria and Franklin win the whole house. Like, they own the casino based on how many times they win because of Sue's interference and cheating. And
there's no way that there's supposedly I've actually never been to a casino, but like there's like people there who'd be like, I think you need to leave the table now.
Yeah, there's people for that.
You have to leave. You have to stop. You have to go to someplace else.
I mean, this is a disreputable place where they're like, where there's child murder, so I guess like, why would they have security? But they do.
Because the house always wins.
That's right. Well, they already did establish there is a security force, but like, Slott wants to tell this cute story about...
Sure, fine.
That's whimsical and whatnot. So, they basically, like, trade their ship and the lives of those two kids for Profiteer to get her casino back.
Oh,
So she gives it to him, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you for this." And so they leave, and they've got these two kids, and then they arrive in the midst of the big space armada that the Avengers see. So the Fantastic Four are not actually picking a side at all. They just happened to be there in a convenient scene that in the Avengers books makes you think the Avengers are going to fight the Fantastic Four.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
So you're like, oh, and that because it was fun and cool and like quintessentially Fantastic Fourian, I'll forgive the bait and switch of the end of the Avengers book.
Okay.
Cute stuff, really good art, lots of fun. It's completely worth it. If ever Dan Slott wanted to sell his Fantastic Four run, which I was sold when they announced he was in it. I was like, oh man, I'm in. I can't wait. Reddit was like, this is really boring, and I quit. This is a lot of fun, and it's just genuine fun. I feel like that's probably where what it is for the most part. So it's a good indication of the best that this series has to offer.
Okay.
Really nice art too, so it's worth checking out.
That's cool.
Think. So yeah, I recommend it. Check it out. Fantastic Four Empire #0. Cute little story and part of the whole thing, though it is absolutely a tie-in because it has absolutely nothing to do with the Empire or the fight or the event, except for the fact that the Fantastic Four are brought up to speed about the Kree-Skrull War being over.
Okay.
And I guess these kids are probably going to be really important.
Sure. Why not?
Sure.
And the Profiteer might come back sometime.
Yeah, and the people are not going to want to
It's like a silly, fun, sort of innocuous
way to introduce new characters.
like a character, fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Luke Jackson says, hey, Sal and Tiffany, I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I've been watching for a couple of years. I just graduated high school, and I'm moving in a month to go to college. Best wishes from Texas. Well, congratulations to you, Luke. That's fantastic news. Have a great time. I hope you're allowed to physically go. And, you know.
No matter what, it's going to be awesome. And, just find a good balance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, studying is super important and going to classes is super important, but you got to take some time for you as well.
Yep. Take care of your mental health, man.
Yeah.
Wes Morris, thanks for keeping us safe and sane during these crazy times. Do you think Punchline has staying power? If so, how do you think you'd like to see your character develop?
What do you think?
No.
No? You don't think she has staying power?
I mean, every character has the potential to be a superstar and to have their own, brand. And if Punchline is put into a movie or a cartoon, that's it. She's here forever.
Right.
Especially if you inexorably connect her to the Joker in the pop culture zeitgeist.
Yeah.
If they don't, or if for whatever reason Hollywood / Warner Brothers is like, she sucks, and I don't want to deal with her, then you'll feel that, woven into the books themselves.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think what she does right now is fill a void where Harley's evolution, what it left behind, her character development and actual true change from where she was introduced to where she is now. I think some people really miss that, not foil to the Joker, but almost not partner in crime either, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that dynamic.
That dynamic. That's exactly the word. And so I think she does fill that. I'm sure Tynan has a plan.
Oh, no doubt.
And so the fact is, staying power or not, his plan might just be and to off her by the end. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is, Grant Morrison wanted to kill Damian at the end of his run, and he couldn't.
Right.
He did, but they wouldn't let him stay dead.
But he might do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then the fact is, these characters exist in a world where people come back.
Yeah.
So if they decide to bring it back or bring her back, they could. But I do think that Tynan has some sort of plan.
I do. I agree with you. I think Tynan absolutely has a plan for that character, and I hope it is executed to, his benefit. Whatever he wanted to do, I hope we get to.
Right. I mean, I'm sure now, some people are changing what their plans are.
No doubt.
But
I will say, in the Jorge Jimenez Batman 100 cover image that he released, this big double-page poster kind of image. It has Joker's Joker / the villains on one side and Batman and the Bat Family on the other. Harley is in with the Bat Family, and Punchline is in with the Joker family. So. I don't know if that's just a cool picture or if that's an indication.
That has to do that really does indicate Harley's change over time.
Big time.
She's not. I wouldn't say she's necessarily good.
No.
But she is I think to think of her as a chaotic neutral.
Yeah. Nowadays, yeah, certainly now. But yeah, thank you, Wes. Dominic Glover, miss seeing you at cons. We miss you too, buddy. Question: my career has shifted from selling art at conventions and big to projects to creating covers and art for indie Kickstarter comics. Do you think this is the way of the future? I'll say my very limited thoughts on that, and then I'll leave the floor to you. I think that for artists, the biggest buck you will make is through what you're doing now, like through the Kickstarter indie books. Like, I think that the greatest potential for independent creators right now, if you want to get a lot of money right now, is through the direct market, through the Kickstarter model. But if you want stability, consistency, and like hopefully one day health insurance, the big two are kind of the only way to go. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously right now, without there being a con to sell art at, naturally it makes really excellent business sense to shift over to focusing more on getting projects from indie creators who want to, like, you know, launch their books via Kickstarter or Indiegogo or the direct market, like you said. So I think that makes absolute business sense. And there will always be someone who wants to create something. Writers out there, or even just artists who just, you know, they want something different for the cover, so they're always going to be looking for that. So I think it's really, really smart to be shifting to that.
Agreed.
I don't know if that's where everything is going to shift forever.
No.
I think there is something to be said for people who like to own art. I'm one of those people. I definitely like to own art, and I feel like not that I'm saying go to Etsy, because I know Etsy has this whole like its own like pile of crap that they're doing to their artists and like their, you know, people who want to sell through them, but the fact that there's been like this like Etsy like resurgence, or it's just like everybody's like wants to go there, everybody wants to have and own something that was like handmade or like created just for them. True. I think there is something to be said about still purchasing art directly from a creator, but I think this is really smart right now. I'm not saying like, you know, not to stop doing this. It's really smart to have different sources of income when you are an artist, when you're a freelance artist. It's really, really smart to get your income from different areas, because if one thing kind of goes down, like if you also do YouTube and your YouTube views go down, you still have the other thing to lean on.
Exactly. You're in a good headspace because you're always thinking about reinvention, or at the very least, like what the next thing is or what the new thing could be. It's not always going to be like you go from here to here. You might go from here to here, and then that's a stone wall, and you got to go back, or you got to go sideways. But having that mentality, you're already streets ahead, as Pierce Hawthorne would say, than your competition / colleagues, because most people are kind of thinking in terms of like their own rice bowl. They're kind of like, this is what I'm working on, and this is what I do, and I've been working on this for so long, I can't even fathom, you know, diversifying. And it's imperative that you diversify, even if it's just in your head where you're like, I'm doing this and it's going great. What else is happening?
Right.
You know, like I got a friend who is a everything, and one of the things that he does during a drought is he does video game art. And so that's not a bad route. Video game art. There's always gaming companies that are looking for artists to do character models and all this stuff like that. Just throwing that out there. Also, if you guys are not familiar with Dominic's work, it's really awesome. Check him out on Instagram and everywhere else. Dominic Glover. Check him out.
For real.
Denial. He went away. Sorry, Denial. Between FF Empire and Iron Man, I know Slot can create great adventure stories, which makes it so frustrating that the main FF book is so lacking. I agree. I am actually like, there's a Fantastic Four book I'm going to be recommending where I'm like, yay! But also at the same time, I was like, you could like feel Slot like resenting his audience and his love of Spider-Man towards the end of his Spider-Man run. I'm like worried about a book that Slot does about the Fantastic Four or anyone that features Spider-Man, so that you could like use like his appearance to kind of like make him into a punching bag that like is for the audience. Like I'm worried about that.
Right.
I don't think he's that petty, but I also like have seen what he did with the character over years, and I was like, what else would you call it?
It seems like Slot might need to get the like, I don't want to say the Tom King treatment, but like the like, hey, do a limited miniseries on this.
Yeah.
That way you don't get burned out. You know what I mean? Like your story can be paced because you know the beginning, middle, and end of it instead of having to worry about your run.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he just needs a break from telling like these longer stories.
Yes.
Like these long runs. Just give him something to work on for a bit, and then.
Agreed. But Slot has it. He's got the chops. It's just a question of where those chops, you know,
fall.
Yeah.
No.
Well, or where they're most effective.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So yeah, Tana Matheson, sup, Comic Pop. Sup. Just read some of Grant Morrison's Green Lantern and was pleasantly surprised. Was wondering if it would be on back issues, mostly because you haven't done Green Lantern in a while. It's true we haven't. I do have the first 2 volumes in the Black Stars run. I got to read it. I read the first volume, and it's a lot of work.
I read the first issue and I was like, I'm good.
Most people I know were like,
but I know there are a lot of people out there who dug it.
oh yeah.
So like, nothing.
Well, there are some folk who are just Grant Morrison lifers who are just like, this is horrible, but I love Grant Morrison and I don't want to look like an idiot, so I'll just say I like it.
Or some people might have actually genuinely enjoyed it and like.
I know a lot of people like it. I mean, the book sells okay, so you know. I'm gonna read it again, or at the very least finish it.
Okay.
Because the Black Stars thing is neat, and you know. Anyway, but it's cool. I hear what you're saying, and yes, it will.
Nice.
To answer your question. So what else we got?
Okay, I'm gonna briefly talk about Strange Academy. Remember that book?
Yeah.
Remember Strange Academy?
What did you call it?
Me?
Yeah.
When I read, I don't remember.
You're like Harry Potter.
Yeah, here's Harry Potter, but it's strange. Strange Academy.
But is it?
What, like Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of kids who go there. There's a fish.
Yeah, but does it feel like Harry Potter? Do you get to see the quarters and like, you know what I mean?
Is it? Are you asking me if it's as in depth as a novel?
No, I'm asking if it's as in depth as the movies, where it's like, look at these characters interacting with each other.
On issue 2, I'd say no.
Because that first issue seemed pretty superficial.
And I gotta say, the second issue does as well. But I have a feeling I'm not the target audience, and so I'm not gonna rag on it, but I will present what my issues with it are.
Sure.
First, let me just tell you, it's Strange Academy number 2. Number 1 came out just before.
Yeah, I think like 3-4 months ago.
Lockdown. Yeah, so like here we are back. Written by Scotty Young with art by Humberto Ramos. Humberto Ramos is awesome. I just want to put that out there. I really love looking at this book. Like I love the way he draws things. I love the kinetic energy in what he draws. I love the detail or the like absence of detail that he puts into things. Like it's just really expertly done.
You are saying some controversial things. I should warn you, because I also really dig Humberto Ramos, but there are a lot of people who find his art to be really loose.
Well, yeah,
and it's just a little too much of his own style.
Well, hang on, and I will say there are a few pages here where it's almost like someone else did it, but I know he did it. And so I don't know what's up with that, and that really bothered me. But like the bulk of this book, I really like. But I also like Bocciolo, so that just comes down to my taste in artists.
Ramos did a really fun like indie book, like a self-made book. I'll look it up while we're talking.
It's stuff like this where I'm just like, this is almost like John Romita Jr. light.
Yes.
And like, that's not right. And then like we get back into it and I'm like, oh, hey, there he is again.
Yeah.
So like, there was a little bit of an inconsistency in a few of the pages here. But again, I think for the nature of the story, he's a good fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
It has like a youthful energy to it.
That's why they put him on Champions when that first launched.
Exactly. And I do feel like that's who they're trying to capture with this book. They're trying to make it more like an all ages style book and an entry book into getting into the magical parts of the Marvel universe. I mean, the fact is we already know the kids will eat that stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it is brilliant. It's one of those, like, it's like that Machiavellian Young Justice like creation where it's like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell.
Yeah.
As long as it's on the shelf and we build an audience of like people around like 10 or 11.
Yeah, like legit they could make this into a cartoon, put it on Disney Plus. They could like make it into like a Big Hero 6 style movie. Like I'm sure that they could consider doing that.
Totally.
That said, this issue was just a lot of like day to day, like here's the first day of school, and like literally it was just trope after trope after trope after trope. And it was just a lot of tropes and like again, by the end of this I had to remind myself, I'm like, you know what? This isn't really aimed at me.
Right.
This isn't really aimed at what it is I'm looking for in a magic-based book.
Sure.
So, like, I kind of had to pull back because I was just like, oh, okay, they go to a class where it's like, oh, like, with the Ancient One, and it's like, oh, my gosh, you gotta, like, the Ancient One teach us here.
Yeah. Isn't he dead?
Whatever. Like, you have to, like, don't use any magic and put this genie back, like, in its lamp. Like, oh, genies are real? Because there's the, like, I think her name's Emily. Like, you know, she's like doesn't know anything about magic and like she has these powers and blah blah blah, right? And then like she goes to her next like period where she does really well, and then like they go to a period where there's like a zombie, and then like, you know, there's Jim, and like and then like they run into Magic and Hellstrom, and they're teaching a class together, and like, you know, one of the kids comes in late and like a total badass, and like she sends him to hell, like, you know what I mean? And like so like, you know what I mean? Like it's just literally like, oh, like, and then he falls out during like lunch, like, you know what I mean? It's just ticking a lot of boxes. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute and it's a light read. They're definitely doing the like, there's something else going on.
Of course, there has to be
some sort of deeper mystery.
Right.
And like Emily's, again, I hope her name's Emily. I honestly don't remember. Is asking like the questions of Zelma, where it's just like, you know, you said that like magic has a cost, and that's why like I felt so messed up the first time I did magic. But now we're here and we're doing all this. It is Emily. We're doing all this crazy stuff, and like there doesn't seem to be a cost. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I've taken care of that. And they have like a faculty meeting where it's like, but like, you know, we shouldn't be doing this. Blah blah blah. Oh, done. We'll talk about that later. That kind of thing.
Sure.
It's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute, it's light, and if you're looking for that, if you're looking for something magical that's just like, ha ha ha, like, man thinks a professor.
Right.
There. Like,
Lol.
I guess teaching, like, some
plant-based
sort of,
magic.
yeah, herbology kind of thing. They have a syllabus in the back of, like, the different classes you can take.
That's cute.
Noted that Math 1 is taught by Adjunct Professor Rintra.
Yay!
Like,
what a deep dive.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
So like that, I was like,
Nice to know we
you got
patched
me.
things up with Doc.
You got me. You got me, guys. There you go. Yeah.
You're like they're like, you'll never see him.
Probably not. It is what it is. Like I said, it's not going to be necessarily right now. At least doesn't feel like it's going to be super hard hitting.
No.
But again, if you're looking for something right now that is just kind of fun, and I think a lot of people might be looking for something like that
Definitely.
right now, just looking for something that'll just put a smile on your face, that's what this is. You just don't, like, just enjoy it, enjoy the tropes, enjoy the banter, and enjoy the wackiness that's going to ensue.
It's quite zany.
And the friendships that will, like, you know, grow.
Be formed, and then enemies that will be made. Yeah.
Exactly. I'd say give it a shot if that's what you're looking for.
It's not a big investment. It's 2 issues.
Right now, yeah, it's 2 issues. You can just go check it out.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just cute.
There you go. Super Pooper says, I wasn't planning on reading it before, but I bought the Batman Damned hardcover while watching last week's back issues. This is for Tiffany. Great analysis. She is GOAT.
Oh, thank
I
you
agree.
so much.
Thanks for digging it.
Thank you.
Super Pooper.
Thank you. And thank you so much to everybody for your, like, really kind reception of the episode, regardless of if you dug the book or not. Like, you guys were just really cool and civil, and I appreciated that. Like, thank you.
Caleb Coho says, thank you both so much for the content you create. You've helped inspire me to write my own books and get into the industry. Love your insights. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Good luck. Dan V900 says, speaking of Batman and Punchline, Batman 101 was solicited with Tynan as the writer. For now, hopefully he gets a longer run instead of a truncated short run like everybody expected. Yeah, I mean, like, we've been arguing that, like, yeah, it should, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I am thrilled, though, that Joker War will only be this many issues. That, like, 101 won't be more Joker War.
No, like, he'll just be like, I gotta get another story.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got one. Robert Core, who do you want to see from the DCeased universe? I don't know what that means.
Like in there?
Like in it? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see everybody. We've seen everybody so far. There's nobody that I'm like, why haven't we seen this character yet? I don't feel like shortchanged in that regard at all.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just along for the ride. I have no expectations or requests of them.
Dexter.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Cat.
Russell Simmons, hey Sal and Tiffany, you guys and the rest of the crew are awesome.
Well, thank you.
Hope to meet you one day in the future. Hashtag AVP, never forget. Thank you, Russell.
I'm guessing that has to do with your Elseworlds exchange.
It could very well be, or it could well be older. When we did AVP, we talked about how it's like hashtag never forget. The movies were so horrible.
Oh, right.
And we also got a great decal about it. It might be from you, Russell.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm up to date now. Hi.
Yeah, but never
Thank
forget
you.
how bad those were.
No.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. I hope so too. You know, when the cons come back, so too will we. Raymux, your video changed, but you forgot sexually change. I don't know what that means, but thank you, Raymux, for your contribution.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what that means either.
I couldn't even begin to help you. Kenneth Dowling, hello, wonderful people. Hope you're great.
Hi.
We are great. Hope you're great too. No, you're great. I recently celebrated my birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday?
I treated myself by buying Spider-Man PS4.
Nice.
I love playing the game. Now I need to get the actual PS4 when I get money. It is a great game.
It is.
I'm excited for Miles Morales, if only just for more Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Web swinging is like one of the greatest things ever.
Yeah, it's so great.
So hashtag so great.
Don't mess it up. Just don't break it. Right? I mean, just do it.
Write more. Those
Please.
are my notes.
Seems a little insincere. So yeah, what else you got?
All three of my books this week have something to do with Doctor Strange.
That's fair.
I should have remembered. I mean, one of them is just called Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange #5 came out by Mark Waid with art by Kev Walker. Kev Walker also helped write the story.
Yes, that's why it's like kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
The last one was kind of fun.
The last one was kind of fun. This was also kind of fun. It's almost like you can feel like a transition is going on. That said, it was very by the numbers. Like, I don't want to say decompression, but like it definitely felt like we were kind of dragging
like,
our feet a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of left off the other half of the book here.
That said, like, it was weird because initially I was like, oh, the art's all right. Like, it wasn't great. We introduced 2 brand new characters that just show up for a quick fight at the beginning. Was it Mr. Smile and Mr. Sulk?
Okay.
They're cool, but they're also like I feel like I've seen it before, but it's cool.
Right.
I don't know, like, see, it's like I've seen them, but I haven't. They have more of those magical.
Yeah, they're kind of fun.
They're kind of fun. Like, they're opposites of one another, and they also have those so the weapons that were stolen from Stranger's Forge.
Yes.
And they are opposite of one another as well. Like, one weapon like destroys and the other one kind of reconstitutes, and so they use it to like fight against Strange, and then like Stranger's like, oh, I've got like one move left, the Dixie Twist kind of thing, and then they prevent him from doing it, and then he ends up fixing it a different way. And I was like, she didn't have one move left.
Right. Okay.
Fine, whatever. So he fixes that, but then like literally, like, remember that I'm sorry.
Someone's car.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
someone's car alarm is going on.
What do I hear?
Yeah. It's not our car, don't worry.
Remember Dr. Druid is like the
Yes.
charge of part of the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he's kind of working with Steven, and like seemingly there's something going on with him in Weird World and like all this
Yes.
stuff, right? Well, regardless, we're not dealing with that right now.
Well, forget it.
Which I kind of appreciate. That was one of those like, I hope that we actually deal with this at some point.
But so that was there to remind you.
Well, he's there. He's just part of the team.
Oh.
Now, kind of like he's just like, intrinsically like in this story right now. But like I assume that was like a potential future plot.
Right.
We're not dealing with that right now. And I was
Okay.
like, that there's some maturity there where it's not like, here's a thing, now let's deal with it.
Yeah.
Especially when there's something larger at hand, right?
Oh.
So like basically, Strange doesn't know where to go next. Like he asks,
He's like, I'm out of story. What's the next chapter?
I don't know what's next. And like that's where I felt this a little bit, where it was just like, I don't know what to do next. Oh, here's a convenient thing that ties into Strange Academy because he gets a call from Zelma.
Oh, okay.
And he has to go there, and like this like troll showed up. A troll, not the internet type, the type of myth and legend.
Yes.
Which could also be the internet type, but not that type.
No.
And like this is where like the art is just freaking baller. Like I love Kev Walker's like creature design. Like
it's very Hensonian.
It's Hensonian. It's like very storybook feeling,
Yeah.
and it really fits for the theme of like having these like mythical characters show up.
Yeah. That's cool.
But like she shows up and like gives him the like where to go next, and I'm like, it's a little convenient.
Yeah.
But
like, why doesn't he just go to work or to his house and relax? Like, why does he need to like?
Well, I guess for me,
muse
it was
about
like,
what the next thing
like,
is.
Like literally, like okay, I don't know. Where like it feels like we're at a dead end. Blah blah blah. Here's the story beat, and I guess that's like, I mean, how else are you gonna do that? I just like for me felt very like. I didn't know how to get them to the next plot point, so here's this adorable troll. Which
yes.
I don't care because it was
sure,
just
it looks
really,
great.
It was really well done, and I love like the memory like panel layout where it's like it's clearly her voice talking, but it's also like destructive because her life has been ruined, her husband died. She and he made magic wands, but they secretly had like a black market, like, you know, that's where all the money came from, kind of stuff.
All right.
Someone else showed up and like killed him, like using a wand she'd never seen before, and she's like, I know every wand ever, basically.
Okay.
And I've never seen anything like that. And Strange is like, yeah.
Oh, he knows it.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, clearly it was made with that forge, what have you.
Yeah.
And so like she was like, but I heard this thing. It has to do with like an auction and a location, and here's every bit of information you need.
Right. That's
move us on to the next point of the
no
part.
good.
So basically, he and Dr. Druid have to go to Krill City where there's going to be an auction going on, and they're going to find out who this mysterious woman is behind this auction and who stole from him. But they need to be in disguise because obviously, like, everyone there is like shady AF, and they're going to take down Strange.
Yep.
But they can't use magic, so they go to Reed Richards to give them like some sort of like scientific device that will hide who they are.
Okay.
And they go as the demons who killed the troll lady's husband. And so they go there, and like the auction's going on, and like it's Madame Mask. Mask has stolen things from his forge.
Okay.
And then like they perform the old switcheroo. Like, you think that the main demon guy is Doctor Strange, who's caught immediately by Madame Mask because he calls her Madame Mask. She's like, nobody calls me that here. Hey, Steven.
Right.
So they reveal, oh, it's Dr. Druid, and Dr. Strange is like up above, like, watching. And he's just like, haha, now I have the upper hand. I mean, everyone's against me, but she doesn't know I'm here.
But I am taller than you right now.
Yeah. So,
I have the high ground.
So it's like, this issue really kind of spun its wheels a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But, like, the art really, like, picked up after a certain point. And, like, so it was just really fun to look at. It's not anything you need to terribly, like, think too hard about necessarily. The story just unfolds at the pace it decides it's going to unfold for you. It's fine. Also, Strange, like, I will say, like, something sad happens. There was, like, that dwarf who gave him the forge in the first place. He's dead.
Aww.
And, like, Strange is like, you will be avenged.
By Grapthar's
hammer. You who will be avenged. He also mentions that it's just like, you know, it was my forge and like I'm responsible for it. Like, this is the greatest sin you could possibly commit, is letting someone use your forge. And I'm like, you never had a forge to begin with. It was just really weirdly worded. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of things like that in the books this week for me where it was just kind of sloppy, and like that just felt weird. Just like in Strange Academy, specifically, Emily mentions that she had to use all this magic to defeat the genie, and I was like, didn't the ancient one say specifically not to use magic?
Right.
So you saying you cheated? Or you guys weren't paying attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or the lesson is to cheat.
Always cheat, apparently, if you're in magic school.
Yeah.
But it was, I can't really hate on this because at least it's like, here's the story.
At least looks good.
We're not in space, and he's got a cool outfit. Again, like, he looks like Doctor Strange.
Yay.
And they're just following through with this whole forge thing.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, and it's consistent.
There is a consistency to it. Like I said,
nice.
it was just really like, eh. That said, at the end, you always, like, you get the Phil Noto covers for the next issue, and they're so good looking, and I love this additional treatment. I wish that was on the cover. It's not. It's just really cool looking. But so anyway.
That's fair.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I recommend it or not, honestly. I don't know.
Mega Drybone says, are you surprised the Terrifics book is still going after Dark Knight's Metal? Also, good job. Thank you, Drybone. Mega Drybone, I should say. Yeah, I'm shocked that Terrifics is still a book. I can't imagine the sales are there, but I'm glad because I know anyone who talks about it talks about how much they love it. So... Super Pooper back says, wrong episode, but I had to share what if AVP classic events, but they show up specifically what if Alien gets spider powers and the Spider-Verse happens. Okay.
I do not want a web-swinging xenomorph.
No, I don't.
They can get into everything.
Yeah.
I do not need that.
Yeah,
That said, I would take web-swinging Predator.
Oh, yeah. They would look so horrible. I would love to see...
Or just imagining him, like, upside down, and then, like...
Well, he already looks like a spider. I would love to see a rain-slicked Mike Zekian AVS, or a PVS, like Predator versus Spider-Man.
That'd be cool.
Like a mini-series.
Yeah.
Dimitri Katsenevis says, love supporting your favorite channel. Love supporting favorite channel. Thank you, Dimitri.
Thank you.
Tiffany, where did you get that hat from the Static episode? Also, where do I start reading with John Constantine?
I'd say the beginning. Like, legit, I'd just go back to
like the Hellblazer run.
Like, back in the day.
Yeah, but like there's so many random selections. It's hard to pick up like the old run.
It is. No, it's true. Because like the trades, if you get like older versions of the trades, like they don't tell you what's in them. So yeah, but I would definitely maybe go back. But if you're like, that's a lot, and I just want to know if I like the character, I might grab the Spurrier run.
Yeah.
Like, I think it does a pretty good job of giving you a decent understanding of what he's like. Again, set more in a modern day, but like, if you like, I'd say even just the past couple of issues, because they're kind of more one-shots.
Okay, cool.
Like, you could probably just grab those two right now just to feel it out, and then I still say go back. Like, there's so much cool shit back there.
That's true.
I cursed.
Yeah, there's a good Ennis run.
I'm straight up stalling, trying to remember where I got that hat from. So go ahead, you tell them more.
Okay. There's a ton of runs for Constantine that you can pick up. I would avoid the New 52 run. Even the Rebirth run isn't fantastic. Really, any like unrated or Vertigo run. So like right now you'd want to get the Black Label run of Constantine. That's where I would jump in. Also, if you like Constantine but you like the greater universe, he appears in he's always in Justly Dark, and the Tynan run is Tiffany's like bread and butter. So check out the Tynan run because he plays a crucial role during that run. But also again, if you just want Constantine in England, you know,
being snarky and cursing
and having like unrated stuff, like check out the Vertigo run.
Yeah,
it's called Hellblazer. It's not called John Constantine. Like, it's called Hellblazer. I believe it says John Constantine Hellblazer, but the book is titled Hellblazer. So that's how you can look for it.
I can't remember if it was Forever 21.
I feel like it was.
That's where this one came from. So that's why I'm not sure. I don't remember where I got that hat from.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm so sorry. It might have been Forever 21.
Supercliff says, "Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Sending some love from Boston. Hey, Boston. Death Metal issue 2 is out tomorrow. What are your thoughts thus far on the series?" It is doing exactly what it wants to do. It's like fun, high-flying ridiculousness, like superficial darkness, a lot of like, it's a lot of flash and a lot of style. And that's exactly what they're going for.
Do you mean the character?
No, but he is in it. Well, one of them. And he's crucially involved, though I fear it will be inorganically turned. Like, before an issue dropped, they were like, Wonder Woman's the star of death metal. And I feel like she does not fit that theming. So I feel like, despite the fact that there are characters who might be more suited for that, like, for attention, like Batman, since it's about Batman, that it might be like, okay, and now it has to be about Diana, and so like we're gonna just pull it.
That said, she's doing her own stuff right now over in Justice League Dark.
It's way more organic, though. It works really well.
She just, not just, but, the beginning of Justice League Dark, she gets, a big bad arc.
Yes.
Where, she gets some serious crazy power, and, it's really cool, and it really fits.
That's the thing, it fits.
With the theming of her character.
I doubt it'll be reckoned, you know what I mean?
No, I don't. I feel like the Upside Down Man's not going to be busting down the door.
What a disappointment.
To hang out with Perpetua.
Because wouldn't it be cool? And also, Capullo drawing the Upside Down Man would be great.
It would be cool if, obviously,
he was a minion
Batman
of
who
her.
laughs, is no more, but who knows? But, he's
he's an issue,
he's
too.
like, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna, be at, her side, and, we're gonna rule together. And Upside Down Man's like, oh, no, that's where I go.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Tynan did invent him, so if ever anyone's work was gonna be referenced, it would be his.
Yeah. And since he's upside down, I'd love to see that image of, the Batman who laughs, and then, he's here, and it's just
that'd be so cool.
Right?
Disappointing.
Anyway.
But thank you, Supercliff.
Yeah, thank you.
I read Superman 23 from
Did
Brian
you?
Bendis, Kevin Maguire, and John Timms.
Wow.
It's terrible. Just don't waste your time. It's real bad. It's just real bad. They introduced a new character called Xanadoth. It's hilarious. I wouldn't recommend creating a drinking game out of it, but, just count how many times the name Xanadoth appears in the book.
Oh.
Because at least twice per page, someone says Xanadoth. Usually, the same character will say it twice. And I'm just like, Bendis is introducing this new magic-based character who's gonna fight Superman. And he really wants to kill the new Dr. Fate, but we shoehorned him into
At least
this.
he recognized that...
Oh, that it's new Dr. Fate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both there, technically.
The reality is, the way Dr. Fate is portrayed, it could be literally any version of him.
Oh.
Like, all the burden of responsibility of knowing which Dr. Fate is the one used in this book is on the artist. The story is essentially that there's a member of the Department of Extranormal Operations who is like a young go-getter, and she's really good at her job, and she has this like thing, and that thing summons Xanadoth, and then she becomes kind of like the avatar for Xanadoth, and the subplot is that Superman revealed his secret identity to the world because he's like having a mental breakdown about the fact that he never got to watch his son grow up.
Okay.
And that like everyone is kind of worried about him. And they also used the Dr. Fate scene to establish that no, you can't one more day the identity back in the bottle. Like he goes, like Dr. Fate essentially says, I can't magic away your decision to reveal your identity. But Superman doesn't want to do it anyway. It's just a wink and a nod and a like look behind the curtain to say, we're not going to magic this out. We're going to crisis this out.
Right.
But yeah, it was super by the numbers. It was super boring. It doesn't really matter. It's not very engaging. There's like a couple... the sequence in which Superman like has a breakdown about like the fact that he doesn't get to watch his son like grow up comes completely out of left field for the character, because I've been reading the Superman run from Bendis, and like he's sad when we meet that John's a teenager, but like then he's just kind of over it.
Right.
And then it turns out he's not, which is in point of fact, points to Bendis, if he's doing it like this, kind of more real.
Right.
Like people don't telegraph their internal feelings and their insecurities or their pain. And so if they're going through a traumatic experience and they just go like that sucks, and then they never talk about it again, for everyone else it's convenient to not acknowledge it. For them, they're like having an internal like a turmoil like within themselves. And then, like, if someone just says to them, hey, how you feeling? It'll just come out maybe someday.
Yeah.
It does with Superman. It, like, reads really hollow and weird and kind of like, well, but, like, you did that, though. Like, Bendis is, like, he's making Superman, like, lament the fact that his kid is grown up, and it's like, yeah, but you did that. Like,
yeah.
But, like, why are you making him acknowledging it now when you're the one who made it happen in the first place? Like, why is he so sad if you're the one who needed him to be that way?
He's like, well, now I can write him sad.
Right, and it's like, nobody wants a sad Superman except for the fans of the DCEU. And even then, he's not sad. Like, Brandon Routh's Superman is sad. Superman Returns is sad. He's always sad. That's melancholic Superman. Zack Snyder's Superman is like, ugh, I gotta be Superman with these ants. Ugh.
So I guess
Don't recommend it. Don't stop buying this book. I mean, if you look at the numbers, no one is anyway. But like, don't waste your time. Xanadoth. He's the Rogolzar of magic characters.
If you say it enough, they'll show up.
Yeah, he'll show up, and I'll be like, "You're lame. No one will use you, Xanadoth." Kenneth Dowling, I want to congratulate Tynan on his Batman run. It's been a long time since I could actually enjoy the title. Since King, I had no interest in Joker War, but after 94, I want it. Bring it on. Exactly.
Nice.
The fact that it's only 6 issues, it's like, okay, you know what? I want to watch Joker kick ass and fight and have Batman fight. Like, I'm in. Okay, knock yourself out. Like, whatever. With King, it's like, Joker could be completely out of character or not in the book, or it could sprawl on for another 12 issues. With this, it's like 6 issues of Joker being like, hey, no one's paid attention to me.
Right.
Hey, it's me. So thank you, Kenneth. Tomowa Talongukoya, sorry, says, do you guys ever consider going to cons outside the US? It would be really cool to bump into at a London Comic-Con or something like that. Yes, not now. Preferably an English-speaking one. I've actually investigated it, and what I've discovered is that like London's cons and Australia's cons, the UK cons, are essentially similar to like a Wizard World show here. So it's like the only reason to go, which is a good reason enough for me, is to meet you guys.
Also to go to travel if you're like and don't go anywhere.
Right.
That would be pretty cool.
Agreed. The closest thing to an international con, for us in our level, was when I went to Canada.
Oh,
and there was a significant amount of like awesome Canadians who liked our stuff and were surprised to see me. But you know, if ever we were gonna have like a significant audience of you guys, it would probably be in the UK. And so it'd be worth checking out.
Yeah.
I know you want to go to Ireland and stuff, so that'd be cool.
I would love to. I would go to England, no problem.
Yeah.
Any of it. I'm down.
Yeah, I've been to England twice.
And we'll just harass you with our, like, American accents and ability to say things and calling them elevators.
The last time I was in England, I spent the entire 9 days just thinking of things we invented before them. Paul Baker says, can definitely start reading John on the current Hellblazer run. I started on the new #1, and I felt like it told me everything I needed to know.
There you go.
I agree.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like that too, but, like, I don't want to, like, if someone's like, no, I want to start, go for it. But, like, I think it does give you, like, a good intro to him, and it might, like, you know, whet your appetite to being like, yeah, I want to go back.
Totally.
I want more.
Rab L. Bendis made the magical Rogolzar now. I mean, he hasn't literally said anything worth a damn. Like, Rogolzar, like, tries too hard and insists upon himself, but, like, it's more like the universe is like, also this guy! Like, Xanadoth has to actually, like, say something and do something and not just be... He is Rogolzar in terms of the universe is insisting on him too much, and he's overly complicated. Like, he's physically like, why do you do that? Like, you know, part of the appeal of superheroes and supervillains is that they're streamlined.
Yeah.
Like, why do people hate 90s comics so much? Not just because they're horrible and they're opportunistic and they're gimmicks, but also because, like, their costumes are the worst. And it's because they're overly complicated. Like, hey, it's Superman. Give him pouches and belts and, like, all this crap. Like, the worst thing you could do to an iconic costume is add shit. But the second worst thing you could do is create a character and just give them 17 different costumes all at the same time. Like, it's just, if you wanted a character to never work or be accepted by the culture at large, make him overly complicated. Like, just add a bunch of shit that no artist is gonna... Like, I remember when they redesigned Iron Man for the Heroic Age, and he had, like, 19 lights on him, and all I could think of was, no artist is gonna want to draw all that shit. Like, you made him, like, #1 triple A superhero, and you made his design frustrating to draw. Like, where... Because they weren't just, like, one big circle here. Rivets. You know? For that Iron Man, it was, like, lights. And they didn't make sense. They didn't work. So it was just kind of, like, arbitrary. So, like, he was never going to be consistent throughout the whole... Like, throughout different artists.
Some artists like that kind of challenge. That's why, like, they draw, like, Transformers and mechs.
Right.
And stuff like
then
that.
Go draw that.
Where it's like, oh my god, the detail.
Yeah. But, like, if you want to draw Iron Man and you have that, like, there are ways you can sneak detail in.
Sure, but I'm just saying, some artists might dig it. They might be like, no, I want to draw all the things.
Right, but the problem is, because you made Iron Man that overly complicated, you've now made the burden on all the artists at Marvel, because there's no way you can escape putting Iron Man in there. But anyway, yeah, don't overcomplicate your designs. Liam Meyer, with it coming out later this week, were you guys planning on talking about the Sandman audiobook? Nevertheless, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Liam. We appreciate it, man. I don't really care. You?
I mean, like, talk about it, like
you, like, listen to it a little bit and then review it, I guess.
I'm sure. Here's the thing, like, I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about me and these things, but I'm like, I just want to read it.
Right. Like, sometimes a comic is okay just being a comic.
Yeah, and, like, it's cool that, like, they're getting, like, a broad appeal and, like, they're putting it out there, but it's like, I don't need it to be much more than what it is. There's something about the voices that I have for the characters that I know aren't going to match up at all, and, like, I gotta tell you, it's not Neil Gaiman narrating the book in my head.
No, Neil Gaiman's great, but like you said in the past...
I'm not a fan of his reading voice.
No.
I've listened to some of him, like, reading chapters from things, and, like, it's fun and it's cool because it's his story and he's bringing it to life the way he wanted it, but, like, I'm like, I don't know, I like the personal experience of reading it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't listen to it. I'm just saying I'm not clamoring to go grab it myself.
No. And Dominic Donovan, sorry but off topic, would you like to see John Kent and Captain Marvel team up, a team-up book with them, in a way of First Strike, but in reverse? I'd love that. I'd love to see John and Billy hang out. I would have loved to have seen them when he was a kid, because that would have been more apropos. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm sure it happened in some team book, but, like, I've personally never picked up... Like, I don't remember it happening in Super Sons, and I never picked up a book where, like, Billy Batson and John Kent meet, and that would have been really fun.
That's cute, yeah.
So Batman 94 came out. It's from James Tynion IV.
Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. You got another one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a bigger one.
I was like, we don't want to end on the book I'm going to talk about next.
Batman 94, James Tynion IV. What is it?
Art by Guillaume March.
Guillaume March and Raphael Albuquerque from American Vampire.
Yeah.
Cool. This was essentially... I love how, like, melodramatic and stupid the cover was. I, like, hate this cover. I think it's just really lazy. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's like it's a cash grab, and like I get it. You know what I mean? Like you're looking to get numbers, and you know.
You know what it is for me? Catwoman would never do that.
Maybe she stubbed her toe. You can't see what
it's about. It says their relationship shattered.
Maybe there was a roofing nail, and she just put her foot down on it, and she's just trying
to hold it together.
She's just screaming on the inside.
Yeah.
She's screaming in her heart.
The worst thing about this book is the cover. Like, it's a little bit, and also, like, who
I'm not
cares?
a fan of the cover, and I gotta tell you, like, I wasn't a fan of the art in this book. I didn't feel like it... The story, I really like the story,
yes.
and I just feel like the art couldn't keep up with it.
No, I agree. It felt like you can feel the two different artists working, and they were not working in tandem. They were working separately. Like, you could tell, like, I'm doing this, and I'm not looking at what you did.
I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't really fit with everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like different moments could have been picked for some of these panels, and I don't usually criticize artists for that because, like, I don't have that skill.
Right. I love, okay, so Tom King did a thing in his run where he was like, hey, here's a mic drop about Batman. Did you know that Batman is Bruce Wayne's suicide note? He wants to die, and he's going to die by Batman. Suicide by Batman. And people were like, what the fuck was that? Like, they're just so mad. Myself included. With this, they did this funny thing where they did the same, where Tynion did the same thing, but for himself. Where he's he's like, Alfred has this stupid thing about how, like, I draw pictures of Gotham, and he thinks it's, like, because, like, I have this plan for Gotham, and I didn't have the heart to tell him it's not. It's, like, an expression of my mental illness.
I know, I like that better.
I like that, but it's so earned, and it's so much better because the same writer introduced it, and it doesn't, like, destroy Batman or completely redefine him to the core.
It actually just strengthens the bond he has with Alfred, where he's like, I didn't want to disappoint you.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's so them, but essentially we get that, like, kind of moment dropped in a retcon that essentially during Batman's, like, towards the end, like,
of his tour to training,
probably like 4 months before year one, which is back in continuity, basically. He sought the assistance of Wycliffe Baker, a, like, world-renowned or secret world's greatest detective, to train him. And the detective's like, I met the designer and I quit. No.
Yeah.
And, like, I will teach you one thing, how to deal with disappointment. And then just says no. And reveals in, like, a fun narrative way, like, how great a detective he is. And it's like, oh, that was fun. And then you go to the next part, which is, like, basically Batman being rescued by Lucius, and Lucius Fox hilariously being like, okay, so it was a really stupid idea to kill Alfred, and I know that King didn't want to do it, and that, like, editorial made him do it, and that, like, they thought it was going to be totally fine because 5G was coming for, like, me to kind of occupy the Alfred role, because obviously, like, my son was supposed to be Batman, it would have made more sense. But that's not what happened, and that's not where we are, and I'm not going to be Alfred, and that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I'm just not going to be Alfred. And, like, in 2 pages, you get that.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not Alfred. I'm never going to be Alfred, and that's not going to work for me. Goodbye.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I can't do that, and, like, good luck. And
Like,
Batman's
Alfred, and, like, to be fair, he's like, Alfred wasn't the CEO of a company.
right. Like, I'm trying to keep your, like, house from being repossessed, which, of course, it was. And, you know, so, like, good luck. And by the way, we also get a couple of things we've never seen before. One was the Wycliffe, like, scene. 2 was Batman on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, having a personal call. I don't think I've ever seen Batman go, like, give me the phone. Yeah. And then go, like, hey, honey, what's going on? Like, in the bat suit, I don't think I've ever seen that before. And, like, on a bad day, I'd be like, this is a disgrace. But instead, I'm just kind of like, who gives a shit? Like, it's just kind of goofy.
Well, no, I like it because he's like, he knows that he may not be able to get in contact.
So he's like, I'll just use this device that
he's like,
bridges
your
people
daughter's
together.
with him?
Yeah.
With her?
Just well, quick, give her the phone.
Yeah. Give me this.
But essentially, like, Catwoman is, you know, they have this conversation, and it's, I don't know if you got the same read as me, but, like, when I read it, you know, this is supposed to be the sequence that, like, suggests the cover, where it's like, the relationship is over.
Yeah.
I didn't read that from this conversation at all. But, like, it was more just like, he's worried about her, and she's sad about how she like inadvertently betrayed him.
Right. Well,
But at no point did I see Batman being like, "It's over."
No. I think that this particular page, is meant to indicate that it is supposed to be over, and that's why she gets upset. Like, I think it's supposed to be. She thinks the next thing that's coming is the breakup. Yeah.
But it doesn't.
No.
Because of course not. Because Batman's not in that mental state. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
No, instead he just apologizes.
Right, which is like really
he's
cool.
He's like, it's my fault.
Yeah, which is like completely cool and like earned.
Yeah.
And I guess...
But he's also like, I get you might leave.
Right, and like, I guess that's his way of saying like, well, it's she wasn't expecting him to do that, so now she's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so she does leave, but like, I don't think she leaves.
No, she doesn't leave.
No, she does, because she leaves. Well, anyway, Batman, of course, like is upset,
as is seen by him punching a window.
He punches a window like a freaking 16-year-old boy, like meh. But it's like it's cool looking. By the way, it's all like silly ass stuff, like Batman being like, "I love you," like on the phone. And also like punching windows because he's mad because his girlfriend's like not like giving him money.
No, he's mad that like everything's
falling apart. Yeah. Well, also he lost his billions of dollars in his house.
Like,
and Alfred's dead.
I wasn't paying attention, and this is really like I should have. Like,
right.
What am I doing with my life?
Right. Exactly. And but like it looks cool and it's earned and it's part of the character, and I'm fine with that. So Batman's like, I gotta go, even though you took the sword out of my leg and I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna lose. I don't have feeling in my leg.
I'm bad at this. Bye.
Yeah. So he goes to where Selina is, and she's gone.
Yep.
So she did leave.
No, she didn't.
Well, because of the indication that she was kidnapped?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't kidnapped.
No, I think she was. I think Penguin came and took her.
Oh, that's right. I thought that she left before she could be kidnapped, but no, he brings her to the Iceberg Lounge.
Yes.
And reveals another amazing
sequence. I'm saying. She didn't leave. Like, you're meant to think that, and Batman's like, oh, she left.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then the Joker's gang shows up, and they're like,
and there's another cell phone.
And then Joker's like, I have a phone too! And I like, it's funny because like...
He's like, I can afford one now, I have all this money.
I have all these minutes. We have danced around Joker knowing who Batman is.
Yeah.
Since the Snyder run. Mm-hmm. I mean, since before that, but like the Snyder run is really like the Snyder Capullo run. That was 9 years ago. Was when we like really indicated like Joker probably knows who Batman is. Pretty much knows who he is. In this, he's like, "Hey, Bruce, it's me. Like, I know it's you. Like, we're done. I'm done with that. We're not doing the. I know I'm in your cave and having a final showdown, but I could conceivably not know where this cave is. Like, this is just no. I took your money and lol." But the Joker gang's there. They FaceTime with Batman and Joker, and he's just like, I have such plans for you.
I have such sights to show you. By the way, props to this goon for like knowing when to hold the phone vertically and then turn it. Yeah. Rotate it so that, you can get Punchline in there,
yeah, because Punchline is, of course,
this guy does not want to die. He knows.
Yeah,
He's like, well, hang on. This is my job.
Yeah. But they've got Lucius, and he's just like, get out of there. And essentially Joker's like, I don't want you to bleed out and get hurt. I want you to go get help because... I need you fit.
Yeah,
for what's coming.
Leave.
Yeah, so get out of here. And if of course it's a crime of opportunity. If my goons shoot you, you'll die. But
he does the equivalent of like a person taking a pot and a wooden spoon and banging to get the raccoons away.
Yes, out of your garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Selina wakes up, and we find out that whenever there's a Joker event, all the villains go to the Iceberg Lounge and hide. That's so funny.
Yeah. They're like, oh, okay, Joker's having a meltdown.
Yeah. Oh, it's another Joker story. Well, let's all leave. And it's just, like, that's so funny and, like, completely understandable. Because, yeah, like, what is Jervis going to do when Joker loses his shit and wants to take over Gotham? Also, I like that they were like, no, Penguin didn't die.
He's getting better.
But Penguin is like... He essentially kidnaps Catwoman, but not in a malicious way, in a way where it's like, we're professionals, we're friends here. Yeah. Like,
but he's also like, I know you really have been on the side for a while.
You're right.
But he wanted a little info. I think that was part of it. He's like, she's going to have pieces I don't have, and I need them.
Of course.
So
then Batman has this, like, internal, like, kind of dialogue with Alfred, like, in his head, where he's like...
This, by the way, the second half of this book is where I was, like, much more on board with the art.
Yeah, that's fair.
The first part, I was like...
Oh, the whole the flashback story.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's unremarkable. It was like there was nothing really like to write home about. It serviced the story. It wasn't. I didn't think it looked bad. I just thought it was like it didn't really service the story.
No, like I said, like I didn't feel that the moments depicted in the panels matched up with what we were learning.
I agree. I don't really particularly like this style of art myself.
I don't either, but like there's an effect like right at the end that I'm like is just
that's
like a baller cover.
It is, but I have to keep looking at it because I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Oh, I think it's kind of cool.
What am I looking at?
Who cares?
No, what am I looking at?
What are you looking at?
What is this?
It doesn't. It's awesome.
Is it interpretable? Is it in his mind? What am I looking at?
It's cool.
No, but like it's supposed. Okay, so Batman has this whole thing where he basically
he's bleeding out.
Right. So he's having a vision. Why isn't Batmite? Because we know when Batman's having a trip, he fucking sees Batmite. But like, essentially, Batman renews his vows. Stabbed in the leg. In year 1 by a hooker, yes. But in the same thing. That's the vow. I don't know. It felt kind of hokey, but I'm also like.
Sometimes you need a little hokey. I think that's what Tynan's trying to do is just get us back to like what people
Batman
think
again.
of as Batman.
Yes.
And then like we can go from there.
Absolutely. But I enjoyed it. Again, I was like, what? But it's not a bat. Like, there's no bat that comes. Like, there's no metaphorical
it's interpretation.
It's interpretation. But like, yeah. Now that I realize like the leg thing, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, you were doing the whole thing the whole time. Good stuff. It's if you're like, yeah, I like my Batman to be like punching rapists and stuff. Like, well, then you're not gonna enjoy this. It's about Batman. Like, it's about Tynan fixing Batman.
Right. Well, I mean, we did have him detecting earlier. We had him like, you know what I mean? Like we're hitting the notes of like a more classic Batman.
Yes. Right. And also Tynan's like having fun because I think the Tynan that wrote these issues thinks he's getting shit canned.
Yeah. By
issue 100. So he's like, here's Joker FaceTiming Batman. Like, here's a katana that comes out of your utility belt. Like, whatever. It's a lot of fun.
Here's the Bat Train.
Yeah, here's the Bat Train.
Bat Train.
Yeah. Joker knows who Batman is. Screw you, whatever. I'm really enjoying it. It's just silly fun. Just for Me Tube says, I just wanted to say you guys helped me through a lot. As weird as it may sound, I open your videos and feel like I'm meeting old friends every week. That's really nice. I like your name, Just for Me Tube. That's fun. Thank you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us and for this long and having this kind of this relationship with us. Daniel Romo says, Wade's Daredevil helped me cope with my depression. It was good. It was a good run. Wade gets Daredevil.
Nice.
Well, Wade gets his Daredevil. You know, Wade did a run of Daredevil like back in the 90s or 2000s, I think. Paul Baker. Oh yeah, about the year 1, the Generation Zero one-shot was released in the Flash Forward paperback, and according to Zero Year, is now canon origin, even though that doesn't line up at all now. Yeah, no, because it was going to be in G5 or 5G. No. Yeah, no. Don't worry about that. No, the 0 Year origin is the New 52 origin. Paul Baker, or it will be after Death Metal. I don't know what he's referring to. One of these will be after Death Metal. I don't know. Super Pooper says, I was so confused by the last page of Batman. Is he smiling? Did he heal? I love the issue, though. Yeah, I think it's more like...
No, I think he's got to go. He's got to go. Remember, his plan is to go find Leslie and get himself fixed up and like.
Yeah,
get
no,
her
but
safe.
in the page, his leg has no blood on it or any wound. Like,
well, it's raining hard.
No, the thing he put on the leg is gone. So I think because of the image, it's like you're seeing an ideal Batman.
I didn't pay attention to that.
It's like a glimpse of the future of Batman.
Ah.
Or what he's planning on.
And Batman it's a red bat, so it's a Batman Beyond.
Oh,
Batman.
Why not? Super Pooper said that. But yeah, I love that too. Did he heal? Not yet. Michael Darnell, spoiler for Detective Mr. J, resurrects March as Talon. Okay, that's what that story's going to be about. I'll never read it. But that's cool.
Well, I mean, like, it's just, like, coming at him from another direction.
Yeah,
like,
why not?
It's going to go all out.
Yeah.
All in.
And hey, maybe we'll find out if it's really his brother. I don't know.
Ooh.
But you have one more.
Yeah.
Before we get to the last one.
Ghost Rider #7 came out.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. That's still a book.
Written by Ed Brisson with art by Aaron Cooter. Like, it's funny. I started lukewarm on this. Like, issue 2, I was like, hey, this should have been issue 1. It was kind of having fun.
Yeah.
They make a callback to Heart of Darkness.
Yay! Yeah, I remember.
This is Heart of Darkness 2, the conclusion to that.
Yep.
This issue felt so. We just need to get this issue out of the way and like.
What? That's like how it sounds. Every
thing.
Issue is.
Like, literally, this issue just is like, let's just deal with the crap we have to deal with, because like, remember, Doctor Strange shows up. We got Doctor Strange in this, Wolverine, Punisher. Mephisto's there,
and Ghost Rider's something else. He's the spirit of something dumb.
He's the spirit of I want to use the word corruption, but it's
something like
not
that.
It's
Danny
not that.
Ketch is the spirit of whatever the fuck.
But like, so we have Danny Ketch, and Johnny Blaze. We got 2 different ones, and it turns out like Mephisto, like Johnny and Doctor Strange have a big fight. And Mephisto's like in his ear, like, he's lying to you. He's lying to you. Mm-hmm. And it's like almost like Illuminati for Steve all over again, because he is just trying to stop Johnny because he's right, but he's just saying all the wrong things.
Yes.
And like not really proving his own point there. But it doesn't matter, because like the B team shows up. It's really the A team, I guess.
Yeah.
But like the Heart of Darkness team shows up, and they're like, cool, let's do this. And
do what?
To take down Johnny, because like what Strange like reveals to Johnny is that like his like damnation stare isn't just sending the demons to hell. It's like some part of them is imprinting on to Johnny. And so that's
he's
why
becoming more demonic.
That's why he's acting so crazy, is that like it's not him, it's them. Like, and we gotta fix that. Ha ha ha.
Okay, all right.
And literally, remember Lilith? Remember Lilith's in this?
Yeah, and they changed her whole design and everything.
Yeah, she's like she's using the orb, and there's actually like a really like the orb is kind of one of the best parts of this, because the orb is like literally there against his will, and there's like a spider hag demon witch.
Okay.
Like with her hands in his
eyeball head,
and like he just has like a couple of lines where he's just like, please stop, it really hurts. Please stop doing this to me. I'm like, that is messed up.
That's awesome. He's not saying I'm watching you.
No, he's just in like horrific pain, and he doesn't want to do this anymore.
Great.
But like Lilith's like, hey, you bring either head of Mephisto or Johnny Blaze, and like I'll give you a seat at my side here.
Right.
So like all these demons show up, and so like Doctor Strange is like, knocked out, kind of like, where he's just like, oh, I need a minute.
Yeah.
So like Danny fights Johnny while like the others fight demons. They're like, we gotta keep Johnny safe. Yeah. And I guess Mephisto too. And so they do, and like...
Oh, they do it?
Yeah, they totally do, and like Johnny totally is like kicking Danny's ass, because Danny Ketch. And then like immediately, like there's like a point where it's just like, and now is the point in the book where he'll stab Johnny in the heart with his sword.
Yes.
And so he does that, and like is going to kill him because he's like overpowered by the power that he has within him.
Naturally. And
like Wolverine stops him, Doctor Strange goes in and like pulls the corruption out of...
So it's the spirit of corruption.
No. He pulls the corruption out of Johnny. Like, all the demon corruption.
Oh, okay.
He still leaves him as the spirit of vengeance. And then he's like, thanks, guys. Thanks for helping me.
Does he look like Ghost Rider again?
Yeah, he does look like Ghost Rider again.
Oh, yeah, he does. Okay.
But like regular Ghost Rider.
Yes.
But he's just like, I still got stuff to do, and I gotta go. And like, he like thanks them, but not really. And then he like takes Mephisto and leaves. He's like, I got stuff to do later.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And they're like, next, the city of the damned. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? But if you kept going, there's the rest. There's like the PS to the issue.
Okay.
Is like, I think it's back at Johnny's bar.
Right.
Like he shows up.
No, it's Danny's bar.
No, Danny's bar. Sorry, we're back at Danny's bar, and like Danny's having a conversation about like, oh, that was all crazy, and like we got to get prepared because Lilith, blah blah blah. Oh. And he opens the door, and Blackheart's there, and he's
yay!
Like, Blackheart's like, hey, you work for me now.
Hey, I was supposed to be in this.
But like literally, it's like they were just like, get all this crap. Let's get Blackheart. Blackheart.
I mean, good. Blackheart's great.
But like, literally, I guess that's it for like Wolverine and Punisher being in this.
Yeah.
No, by the way, Mephisto has a moment where like he's watching like Frank kill a bunch of people, and he's like, you'd be a really good Ghost Rider.
It's like, well, I will be a Ghost Rider. I'll be a great cosmic Ghost Rider.
He's like, you would be...
I like it outside of Kate's influence, just the idea of like, you'd be a good Ghost Rider.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I could see this working.
Oh, yeah. Or just like, I would have taken that. I would have loved Mephisto sidling up and being like, love your work.
Right?
That's fun.
Like, it's fine. It was just so fast.
Right.
For this whole, like, plot of being, like, you
Especially
know,
since it's
something's
been,
wrong
like,
with
what?
Johnny.
It's been like 6 months since the last time we read this issue.
I know. And, like, it's just, like, a big fight sequence. And it's so weird to do Heart of Darkness and then, at the end, have Blackheart show up.
Yeah.
When he was such an intrinsic part of that.
Right.
To reference that and then be like, no, we're going to bust it up. And, like, I don't know if Wolverine and Punisher are going to be back. I don't see that happening.
No. No, I think it was just a stunt.
Yeah. At least this time, Danny didn't run away. He didn't leave.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, it was Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny
No one pushed him over into garbage and laughed at him.
But he's still not a spirit of vengeance.
No. It's okay.
So...
Oh, is he still the spirit of what bullshit, or do they get...
Yeah, no, he is.
No. All right, fine.
And Lilith's like, okay, well, like, nobody did what I needed them to do, but whatever, I'm still doing my thing.
Well, I'm still in the book.
I'm still doing my thing.
Okay,
I guess.
Cool.
She literally has one of her minions, like, one of her ladies there, and she's, like, on a little moped, and she's just, like, she's watching the whole thing.
Oh
no
God.
one notices her.
That's weird.
I'm like, this is so weird.
That's weird.
I don't know. It has its highs and its lows, this book.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the Mephisto Punisher thing was kind of fun.
That's great. It's weird.
Frank doesn't even acknowledge him.
No, Frank would not want to talk to him. Louis Lombardi says Jeff the Landshark versus aliens. Yep, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. I would be down like Deadpool as well.
Yeah, Deadpool versus aliens and Jeff the Landshark is the Jonesy character.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't want to do like Deadpool versus Predator.
Yeah.
Because it's silly, but like him versus aliens is funny because
Yes.
it's like he knows he can't die, but it's also like terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Irish Tart 92. I guess I'm reading Spurrier's Hellblazer now. Thanks for the recommendation.
Oh, sure.
Also, Batman Universe and back issues were so joyful. So thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you dug it, man. Yeah, that was a fun episode and a fun book.
Yeah.
Batman Universe. Read it. Kenneth Dowling, is there a trade paperback for the Australia Outback issues of X-Men? Yeah, it's the prologue to Inferno. It's in the link description. Or it's in the description right now. It's in, not the description, it's in the chat right now. So check it out. It's on Amazon.
Nice.
So that's that. All right. So DCeased Dead Planet #1 came out. This is, of course, from the same team of DCeased.
Is this the
proper.
actual sequel?
This is the sequel series.
Oh, I should have read this.
Tom Taylor,
didn't
Trevor
know.
Hairsine. Yeah, this is no more tie-ins, no more spin-offs. I mean, they're still happening, but also this, and it's like just if you only read DCeased, this is the sequel.
Okay. Damn. All right, let's do this.
Essentially, I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but like everyone's on Earth 2, they're having a good time. John has survivor's guilt, and so he's just been drinking.
That's just him.
Yeah, he's been drinking at the Oblivion Bar. There's a great scene where Zatanna's like, "You can't stay here and keep drinking by yourself," and he says, "Oh, but I'm not." And like, there's this beautiful sequence of him drinking, and like, you see an image of like the bar, and it's empty, and then like it's him with his memories like sitting around him.
It's the ghosts of those.
The ghosts of
who
those that people that he is almost certainly responsible for killing. It was in that great tie-in.
Yes.
Actually. Essentially, Cyborg, Wonder Woman cut his head off at the end of the last story. He didn't die, and he sent out a message that said like, "Justice League, come help me," because he's an idiot, and he continues to be an idiot. Like instead of saying, he does send out a message, and we find out what that is. But like anyway. So we're on Earth 2. The younger generation is now the Justice League. John's Superman. He's got a different costume. Dinah is
Green Lantern.
Yep, Green Canary.
Or Green? Is she really Green Canary?
That's what we've been calling her since the episode. I think that they're calling her that.
Okay.
Damien's Batman. They're dealing with like essentially they're dealing with like an antagonistic alien species.
That looks like the Joker kind of, or
Yeah.
a jester, I should say.
Yes, they do look like jesters. It's basically just like a misunderstanding. They're like, listen, we're not here to like encroach on you. Like, we're new here.
Right.
Lois Lane is president of Earth 2. Alfred is like the first butler. And essentially they got the ping. Cyborg called, and so John's like, I gotta go, and Lois is like, okay.
No, you don't.
Yeah, she's
She's
like, why?
You have to go clean your room.
Right.
That's what you need to do.
No, she calls him Superman, and he's like, stop calling me Superman, and she said, stop earning it. Great lines like that throughout.
That's really sweet.
Green Arrow's like, okay, let's go, and Green Canary's like, don't go. You just shoot arrows.
I don't know how a boxing glove is going to help
Right,
here.
like, just don't come. And he's like, you and me. You know, I killed Aquaman while he was riding a Kraken. Like, she's like, yeah, you tell everybody that. She's like, well, at least take, like, the Godslayer sword we made. So he brings the sword. It's, like, forged by the, you know, by the underworld from Themyscira, infused with kryptonite. So they just go. Like, they take a ship and they go to Earth. And it's quarantined by the Green Lantern Corps. And the Green Lanterns are just monitoring Superman, who is still in the sun, absorbing the sun. And, like, just biding his time, getting more powerful, and draining the sun. So Earth will eventually be dead. Then...
That sucks. That's a sucky beat.
It sucks.
Like, just like, they're like, well, any minute now, Superman could burst out of the sun.
Yep.
So either I'm doing absolutely nothing or I'm going to die. Those are my two possibilities for the day.
Right. So they're just kind of hanging out outside of Earth's atmosphere, and then there's this surge that's blasting from the Earth's surface that comes at them, and the Green Lanterns throw up a shield. They try to block it, but they can't, and it smashes through, and it's Krypto.
Oh.
Yeah, they left Krypto by accident.
How do you leave Krypto by accident?
They were in a hurry. So Krypto finds John, and now John is with Krypto.
How has he been, like, surviving?
I don't know.
It's cute.
So Krypto's part of the team.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Where's Streaky?
Yeah, right?
He's asleep.
He's in Candor. He's tiny or something.
He's asleep somewhere on a rock.
Yeah.
A warm, sunny rock.
So they're on Earth. The team gets there. Cassie finds Wonder Woman's lasso.
Okay.
Of course, last time we left Wonder Woman, she was still alive, and she ripped off Cyborg's head. They pick up Cyborg. Wonder Woman attacks. They're just like...
It was bait.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman kills Green Arrow.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that's that for Green Arrows. It's really sad. You know, Dinah, of course, like, attacks, you know, Wonder Woman. Meanwhile, John was trying to communicate with the head, and he's like, oh, shit. And so Dinah's going to use the Godslayer blade to kill Wonder Woman, and John jumps in the way, because he's like, no, please stop. And so he gets stabbed through the shoulder by it into her. Like, so Dinah impales John into Diana.
You can't pull that back out now.
Right. And he says, no, the beam, the code from Cyborg is that there's a cure. So now we've got the racing clock. We've got to save John, because obviously he's infected. Like, so there you go. That's the key. That's the hook.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, to be fair, from Dinah's perspective, that cure ain't gonna fix Ollie.
No. Well, no. Ollie is turned.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I thought she, like...
No, she didn't kill him.
Okay. I thought the image was that she was, like...
No, it all happened too fast.
Okay.
But yeah.
Then that's fine.
So there you have it.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. I just really enjoy DCeased. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why, because I'm not the world's biggest zombie movie fan. I don't like bleak stories. You know, and we're not dealing with characters that are all my favorites. And you know, and yet there is a cohesion, a consistency of the fact that Tom Taylor writes all of it, and it only adds to it. It doesn't detract. It doesn't try to do something new or different. It doesn't try to like undermine it.
Well, I hope it doesn't, because, like, I thought that first book had such a strong ending that, like, if they didn't go any further, it's just sad. It is just a sad ending.
Right, but it's not bleak and miserable, because they still don't die.
They don't die, but the misery is that they could fix it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I dig that.
Yeah.
I like that darkness.
That's horror. That's a horror movie.
I
know. I don't like that. Or if I like the idea that we could go back. Like, for me, it sucks when Freddy comes through the window and kills the mom at the end. It's like, screw you. Like, we beat you. That's sequel bait. That's not a story.
Yeah.
So, but for whatever reason, DCeased in every incarnation, and I've read all of it, is great, and I just enjoy it. And so for this to be like a true sequel to DCeased, it's like, finally.
Yeah.
Even though it's like we've literally there hasn't been a year that's gone by where we haven't had a DCeased story.
Right.
There's
right.
almost hasn't been a month that has gone
Right,
by.
but this is like truly like
well,
this is progressing the plot as opposed to filling things in.
Right. This is and each of them has their own plot though. This is just this is the main story.
But they were taking place during the first DCeased.
Yes, none of them tell you.
So it wasn't really progressing the main story. It's just like, hey,
no.
what was going on here?
Well, and I love it because there's a time jump for this sequel series.
Yeah.
So conceivably, like right now, the weekly series is telling you more about where certain characters are or where they ended up during the evacuation. Unkillables does that too. Theoretically, this weekly series could wrap up everything up until this. And then you can have another weekly series that fills in the gaps of the years that were between
That's true.
that and the first one.
Yeah.
And like and yeah, it's commercial, and yeah, it's a money grab, and yeah, it like makes sense to do that from a profit standpoint. And yeah, I'm gonna read it. Like I rail against corporate comics so much, and yet at the same time, like if it's good, I'll buy it.
Right.
So I dig it, and I highly recommend it. DCeased is just a consistently excellent series from beginning to end, spin-off or series. Doesn't matter. Raj Patel says, I don't need Super Son's book because Taylor's already writing one. Yeah, exactly. That's what this is.
Nice.
Yeah, and you get a lot of that. A lot of character work in this book.
Oh, good.
Snorts YouTube says, DCeased, in my opinion, is Marvel Zombies done right.
Hey, there you go.
Can't argue with that. That's it. So, yeah, let's recommend some books.
Yes. Let's recommend some books.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first?
Why don't I? Apparently, there's a free Comic Book Day issue of X-Men #1 from Hickman and Tom Taylor with Iban Coelho and Pepe Larraz. It's a prelude to Ten of Swords. If you want to know what's going on, but it also is like, I think it's 28 pages, so it's like a complete comic. So check that out. Empire #1 finally comes out. I say finally because, like, we had 2 beginnings of Empire, and they're both issue 0. This is just... Actually, it's funny because Empire... There was Avengers Empire 0 and Fantastic Four Empire 0. This is Avengers Fantastic Four Empire #1. So... check that out. It's also written by Dan Slott and Al Ewing with Valerio Schiti and Marte Gracia on colors. I can't wait. I'm really enjoying the series. I'm really enjoying Empire. So check it out.
That cover's awesome. Well, there's a cover for it.
That looks like a Zdarsky or Chip Kidd cover.
I really dig it.
Yeah.
I would dig it the most. And
yes,
I did.
And you did. Let's see. There was a Tony S. Daniel cover. That ain't it. John Tyler Christopher cover, an Ed McGuinness cover, David Finch cover, Michael Cho, Tom Brevoort, Alexander Lozano. It doesn't indicate which one is which. Mahmoud Azrar does one too.
Nice.
Yeah, so that comes out. Equally, Fantastic Four 21 from Dan Slott and Paco Medina comes out. If you look at the cover, it's amazing because it's an homage to the new Fantastic Four. Moreover, it's an homage to the new Fantastic Four from Waringo's What If book. I believe the cover is by Arthur Adams. But yeah, Fantastic Four dealing with some bullshit. Essentially, Fantastic Four team up with Spider-Man and Wolverine. I want to read that. That sounds great. 50% of the new Fantastic Four. You got me. Plus, tie-in with Empire. I don't like tie-ins, but I'll read this. Hey, Dan Slott's writing the main series, so it'll at least matter. Avengers 34 comes out. Again, this has nothing to do with Empire, but has everything to do with Jason Aaron's horribly disappointing series. But I have to know what happens because the last issue, all the Moon Knights. We get to find out. We get to find out where the Moon Knights come from. Who are the Moon Knights? Age of Khonshu.
It's a great band.
Who are the Moon Knights?
No, just the Moon Knights.
The Moon Knights. So that comes out. We get that answer. So that was Avengers 34. And I had that open twice. And I don't know if I can handle this anymore. Amazing Spider-Man 44 comes out. It is a prelude to the Spider-Man event called Sins Rising. Is it an homage / reference to Sins Past? Yes. There's no way it isn't. It also, of course, involves Sin Eater, so it's a way of saying, I'm not talking about Sin's Past, I'm talking about Sin Eater, and there's only so many titles with the word sin in them, so there you go. The fact that there are centipedes on the cover suggests, is Kindred going to be involved? I would hope. It's by Spencer, with art by Kim Jacinto. Nick Spencer has written a thoroughly forgettable Spider-Man series. This series is surprisingly dull and unremarkable, despite it doing some heavy lifting. All the things that are happening and have happened since Spencer took over is legwork. And it's like moving. You gotta fill boxes, you gotta tape the boxes, you gotta stack boxes, you gotta drive boxes, you gotta unload them. It's hard work, it's shit work, nobody wants to do it, but it has to get done. Spencer's been doing that since he started. He's been packing up boxes, loading boxes, unloading boxes. I fear he won't ever get to tell a compelling story after he's done unloading these goddamn boxes.
Okay.
It has been just grunt work, and I'm sure it's been work for him. It feels like work for me to read this goddamn book. Ooh. Not that it's bad. It's just work. It's like brushing your teeth. It's just like, it's maintenance. I want to know what's happening in Spider-Man. I guess I'll read Spencer's run. But like, when it's over, no one will ever read it. It'll be those stories that you have in your long box that you're like, remember that Bagley Spider Slayer story? Like, no. Like, you remember, the only reason why I remember this, the two-part story where Spider-Man fights the Puma in the desert with a Spirit Quest is because it was my first Spider-Man story. Who remembers that? Remember that time Thomas Fireheart ran the Daily Bugle? Like, there are a bunch of eras of Spider-Man where you're like, no one's gonna go back and look for that.
Right.
That's what this is. And it's just maintenance. And there's nothing sexy about maintenance. But if he can stick the landing with this Kindred shit, like, know that no one cares about about this.
Right.
And just focus on this.
Yeah.
It's all about, like, and part of the thing about maintaining is, like, efficiency. When you're a kid, it may take you 10 minutes to brush your teeth, because you have no idea. When you're an adult, it takes you 2 minutes or less.
So it'll take you 3 minutes. Yeah.
Tell that to the dentists out there. But, like, the fact is, like, it's about efficiency. I have an electric toothbrush, it's supposed to take faster. But, like, it's about, like, maintenance. It's about paring down the bullshit, and that's what this series needs to do. Like, remember that story where, like, by Spencer, where Jameson and Spider-Man, like, have a podcast? Like, who fucking cares?
I remember that because that cover was cool.
That cover was great, and that's the only thing that was good about it. Like, the story itself was fine. And you can't afford to sell a $5 comic book with fine.
No, that's true. Even though they're only one letter off.
Yes. But like if the story is 4 issues, that's $5 an issue, that's $20.
Yeah.
That's $5 less or more than it would be when I get it in trade.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I'm sorry, but like, you're competing with a lot.
Yes.
You know?
And also Subway.
Right. $5 footlongs are only a thing if you buy 2 of them. That's a $10 footlong. You're buying a sub you don't want. Yeah, that's a $10 2-footer. So if you can convince someone else to get a footlong, then it pays.
Yeah.
Then it's $5. But only if you're getting 2.
What else is coming out?
Death Metal 2 comes out.
That's right. Tomorrow.
I don't know.
Yay! I got 2 things I'll mention really quickly so that we can wrap this up.
We got some super chats too.
Well,
so do your recommendations.
Now. Tomorrow, Strange Adventures #3 will be coming out.
Yay!
So I'm excited. Tom King and Mitch Gerads with Doc Shaner, setting the world of Adam Strange on fire.
It's so good.
It is really good. It's really good.
I reread 2 the other day.
Did you? I should probably reread it again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. Yep. The Mr. Terrific stuff is so good.
It's just excellent.
And also Once and Future #9 is coming out.
Yes.
So excited.
I read that. I was like, oh.
I was so excited.
That's great.
Always excited.
Yeah.
Also, if you're following Conan and the Serpent Crown which we were talking about today, whether or not I was or I wasn't. I literally can't remember.
You didn't remember, and that's okay. No one remembered. Nobody knew that Conan the Serpent Crown.
I don't know.
You read the first 2 issues, I think.
I think I read the first issue. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you were looking for
There's another Conan event.
It's coming out tomorrow.
Who writes that?
Wednesday.
Put you on the spot. Doesn't matter.
Someone.
I was going to say, if it's Zub, yay!
No, I don't think it is Zub.
I don't think it is either.
I don't think it's Zub.
I think Zub's doing the main book.
Yes.
So,
Yes, he is.
if and when that ever comes out. Because I haven't seen any solicitations for Conan.
Okay, Google. Google would, like, I literally apparently had a tab open on Chrome for the most wonderful gingerbread cookies.
What the hell?
I don't know.
I haven't eaten any gingerbread cookies since last Christmas. Dan V900 says, I'm still saying that Tom Taylor should take over Superman, who he has stated repeatedly is his favorite character. He understands DC so well, then give him that Green Arrow Black Canary series. There needs to be a book just called Green Arrow and the Black Canary, and that's the book. And tell you what, Tom Taylor, Amanda Connor, that's the book.
For Superman?
No, for Green Arrow, Black Canary.
Oh, okay.
That's the book I want to read. Kenneth Dowling, for a while I felt Batman has become a little too tech-based with so much stuff like the Bat Train. In Joker War, he will be stripped of all of that. He will rely only on his detective skills and abilities.
I wouldn't focus too much on the Bat Train. I think the Bat Train was just meant to be like a...
Yeah, he never uses that
like,
shit.
it's just literally Harley making a joke about that and like Catwoman being like, no, there's no such thing. There's a thing.
It is, though.
I didn't tell you about it.
No. Yeah, that's one of the many secrets I've kept from you.
The Bat Train.
The Bat Train is one of them. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, like, that's the other thing is that they're bringing Batman to his basic element. And, like,
yeah.
They're Iron Man 3ing Batman. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm in.
No.
As long as you put it all back. Dan V back saying, remember Kindred being in the first issue and still no conclusion to that story? That's stunning to me and horribly paced. It's not acceptable.
Yeah, there's something to be said about like laying the groundwork for something where it's just like this is going to pay off in a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to get there.
Hickman does that a lot too.
Well, I mean, like lots of people do that. Like,
Everyone does that now. Snyder does that.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking like Tynan does that, especially with like everything that was going on with Justice League Dark. He was laying the groundwork for little bits and pieces, and like we're paying it off as we go along.
Yeah, the Upside Down thing. Like they fought him, and then like, but he didn't die.
He didn't die, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm back."
Right, and it's like,
I don't go.
And they didn't like annoy you with his.
No.
Like he didn't like end every issue being like, I might be in this one. No.
Ooh, nope.
Like they by the time he shows back up, you're like happy he's back.
Yeah, you're like, oh crap.
With this, it's like with that horrible Absolute Carnage tie-in story that was like 2 or 3 issues. It was like an inexplicable, inexcusable amount of issues. Kindred is in it, and you're like, fuck off. Like at this point, it's like, hey, either be in the book or don't.
Yeah.
But like, and like, look, did they set up Gog so that he'll sacrifice himself when Spider-Man's fighting Kindred? Yes. That's not storytelling. That's cheap. Like, is it sad and well executed? Yes. Nobody asked for that. And it doesn't add anything to Spider-Man. So you're just creating a thing to artificially manufacture emotion. Kenneth Dowling says, have a good day. You two are hashtag so great. Smiley face. Thanks, Ken.
Oh.
You too, man. Thank you.
Hashtag so great.
Hashtag so great.
That's great, what you just did there.
Exactly. So yeah, from there, we're going to wrap up. We want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. Listen, if you want to continue the conversation and you are like looking for some place to join, you can always join the Discord. Every Friday there's a book club. You can vote for those. It's a lot of fun. But the Discord is a fun place. We also have a Facebook, facebook.com/ComicPopOfficial, Instagram.com/ComicPopOfficial for like Instagram-y stuff, behind the scenes pictures.
For the gram.
Yeah, live Q&As occasionally. And twitch.tv/ComicPop has this young lady playing video games Tuesdays and Sundays. It's a lot of fun watching. Check her out.
Thank you.
And thank you for all hanging out.
Eventually we'll get through our own DCeased.
Right.
We're getting there.
Yeah, it's happening.
Oh, it's happening,
But
sweetheart.
thanks a lot for... Good quote. So we'll see you guys next week with another episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. It helps us out. And of course, stay tuned for more. Tomorrow, live episode of Absolute Comics over on the Comic Story and Twitch. Elseworlds Exchange. There's a pre-recorded episode coming out.
We do a lot. We do a lot on Tuesday. Tuesday's a big day.
Tuesday's a big day.
We amp up to Tuesday.
Yeah, I get here at like 12 and then I don't leave until 6.
And then Absolute Comics, and then I stream. I usually stream during Absolute Comics.
Well, a little overlap.
Because I'm just like, nah, I don't care.
Well, whatever.
I'm not watching your show.
That's fair.
Oh, I love your
Few
shows.
do.
No, they do.
No, thank you.
They like it.
I like it.
You're great.
Oh, thank you. Penny's great too.
No, I've been like, I was just because you're here.
Oh,
I've
thank
been, like,
you,
Yes, like you're great. Like
No, I dig it too.
Benny is also great.
Yes, he's a good guy. Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys next time. So long.
Bye.